trying to get back on the board quickly. Wow, that's beautiful. That was awesome. Daniel's starting to come alive. What we saw from Daniel.
And this is to go even further beyond.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for returning. Really appreciate it. That means you liked my video last time, or you liked some of my videos and you're coming back for more. Much love, much appreciation. Today we've got a new type of video on the channel. We're going to be checking out Daniel in the recent X Games Open tournament over the weekend that was played. And this is a series again from SSG versus Faze. We're going to be checking out Daniel's point of view throughout the entire series. We're going to watch every game from his point of view and see how he's fitting into this SSG team. He's a hot name in the scene right now. People are really interested in how he was going to perform on this SSG roster. It's his RLCS debut. He is a rookie on the team. He's been making a lot of content for SSG and with Rebels and Arsenal on their YouTube channels. I'm pretty sure Daniel has a YouTube channel of his own as well. Haven't seen that, but I'm pretty sure he does have one, so check all those guys out. Before we get into the replay analysis, I just want to say, make sure, click the links in the description, join the Discord. We are building a really big community there, and you actually can get free replay analysis if you join my Discord and post your analysis in the Discord channel. And we also have a second channel for replay analysis, but it's for subs only, either to my Patreon or to my Twitch channel. Subscribing to either of those gets you access to this channel, and any replays posted in that channel will take priority over the replays posted in the free replay analysis channel. And there is a long line of replays, so if you want to skip that line, go subscribe to either my Twitch or my Patreon, and you can cut the line by posting it in that channel. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitch. Link is in the description. Just finished streaming a little while ago. It was a great stream. Had a lot of people show up, and it's super fun when a lot of people show up. I've been playing like Dookie Booty lately. So that's why we're doing these analysis videos. I don't have the skills, the mechanics at the moment to do any sort of gameplay videos. My mechanics have just been out the window for the last couple days. Don't really know why, but we'll get it back eventually. But until then, we're going to do this analysis. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, game one. From Daniel's point of view. Right off the rip, Faze putting on a lot of pressure. And Sypical, as you see, is on Faze now. If you didn't know, Sypical left SSG, joined Faze. Don't know the whole reasoning or the story behind it. But yeah, this is a very interesting match. Very anticipated match, because everyone wanted to see how SSG without Sypical would do, and how Daniel, if he would be a solid replacement for Sypical. Oof, AJ almost own goaling that. This is the one game of the series that I did see during the broadcast, so I know how this one plays out. But all the other games, I have no idea what happens, so it's going to be fun to watch this series. See what sort of role Daniel plays in this series against a very offensive Faze, a very fast Faze. And honestly, I think Daniel is going to be super important in this series. He needs to play his role well, because he is coming into this team, and everyone knows Daniel's mechanics are cracked. He's really expected to be a lot of the offense for SSG once he finds his bearings. I think people are really gonna expect Daniel to do a lot for the offense. But Arsenal's also a very offensively minded player, kind of more of a playmaker type of player, kind of causes chaos, creates openings in front of the net. And then Rebels is, we all know Rebels. He's a super solid player. He's kind of more of that third man role, but a lot of people who are infamously known as being third men in Rocket League are kind of just the really smart players. The players who can be second man or can be first man, because they just have a really good feel for the game and how to outplay their opponents and how to not get scored on, because they just know what their opponent wants to do and they know how to handle each situation optimally. So yeah, that leaves one role sort of left for this team, and I think Daniel fills that really well. The aggressor, the guy with the crazy mechanics who can take control of the ball and outplay the entire other team. So far though, SSG is down 2-0 just off of, I think, purely getting just outsped to the ball multiple times. And Daniel's looked sort of shaky in his positioning and decision making so far this game. Been diving at a lot of challenges that he really has no chance of winning. And on that one, just out of position, the ball goes straight over his head and straight into the net. So I think Daniel's kind of adjusting to the speed of Faze right now. This could be a goal for Daniel, and it is. Good to see he has the confidence to go up and finish off that goal. Doesn't leave an opportunity on the floor. I remember that attempt by Sypical during the stream. That was almost a nasty play. All right. This is Arsenal creating plays like he does, creating chaotic plays. He's one of those players who just thrives in chaotic situations. Always finds a way to just make something happen. And they score a nice kickoff goal. And I didn't want to spoil it, but yeah, SSG just came back from a 3-0 deficit in about 30 seconds. Against Faze, which is crazy. These Faze are so good. But they are also playing with the new member as well, Sypical. So while Daniel hasn't really had time to completely fit into this team and get used to RLCS, Sypical as well hasn't had time to completely fit into this team or figure out each other's play styles and nuances. So, you know, you're going to see those comebacks from other teams that normally you wouldn't expect to happen. Because there are chinks in the armor right now for any roster that made a roster switch. That's the downside to making those roster swaps. You kind of take, it's kind of one step backwards before you can make your 2 steps forward. Good reaction time to get that block from Daniel. Chasing Sypical for the bumps there. I think I'd much rather see Daniel stick to just clean rotations instead of chasing players for bumps. If you can't beat the player, you know, in Daniel's mind, what he's doing right now is if he can't beat the player, I'm just going to bump the player and harass him for my teammate. But I think what would actually work a lot better for Daniel, and maybe this is something that happens later in the series, just stick to classic rotations, clean rotations, even wide rotations. Because Daniel's such a mechanical player that if he does that, it's going to create a lot more space and opportunities for him to gather the ball and take control of it and make, you know, crazy solo plays to open up opportunities for his team. But if he's constantly chasing bumps and demos, he's going to be on low boost a lot of the time, and he's not going to be in any sort of position where he can just have space on the ball and create solo play opportunities and use his mechanics that he's worked so hard to be so good at. So I think Daniel really should just stick to safe, classic rotations. And that's game off of just a cross-map long shot from Reddles. So let's see game 2. And from here on out, I won't know the results, so this will all be fresh to me just like it is you. All right, game number 2 from Daniel's point of view against Faze. See how this goes. Daniel wisely pre-jumps Sypical there just to force him to outplay him and play the ball past him, and Reddles gets a free possession afterwards. Dodge that demo, maybe a pass to Reddles, but at this point it's pretty obvious, and you see Sypical's got it. He's got it snuffed out, but Daniel didn't really know what else to do there. He could have taken just a solo dribble there. If anything, force a low 50 in the corner, possibly have the chance of staying with it. Because that pass, after AJ forces him off of the ball for a second, that pass just becomes way too obvious to go for, I think. Oh, sort of a weird play there. I'm not sure what really happened. I saw somebody in the net behind Daniel. I think Daniel was waiting for him to come in and challenge, but something happened to where he couldn't. Daniel had to take that challenge. Again, Daniel getting up to challenge first for his teammates behind him. That's a smart play. Daniel's obviously a super highly rated player in Rocket League. Has plenty of experience in how to play the game, but it's still good to see him not making those basic sort of mistakes that even some pros make, and hesitating to go up for a challenge when your other teammates are back on defense with you, and then nobody goes up and challenges, and a play that could have been, you know, very easily dealt with becomes very dangerous because somebody hesitates to challenge. So far, there's been very little hesitation from Daniel to challenge when he needs to. Misses that touch there, that pass. Sure, he wishes he could try that one again. Oof. Daniel and Arsenal kind of bumping heads a little bit. That's a good play from First Killer. Daniel had no opportunities to challenge the ball there, and First Killer was able to get the ball all the way across the field to the other half. First Killer just doing what First Killer does, being a nuisance for other teams, man. Because he's just so good. What's he do here with the ball? Maybe he had Reynolds waiting on the right side there, but obviously hard to tell. Might not have been communicated. That's a great flick over one, but gets bumped and demoed, unfortunately. Oh, you need to go up and challenge there, Dan. Not sure what the hesitation there was. AJ got a flip reset there. He could have been really dangerous because Daniel was not challenging. As we were just talking about earlier, Daniel had teammates behind him, but he wasn't going up to challenge. First time we've seen him make that mistake, though. First time we've seen him hesitate to challenge when he's got teammates behind him. Ooh, what a boost spawn for Daniel. Could be a good chance. 2v3 opportunity. Daniel wisely plays the defender's touch because he knows there's no good outcome in diving at that. Does Arsenal score here? Nope. Close. What a touch by AJ. Holy. I have no idea how he just got that touch. It's 5 seconds. Reynolds is just sitting up there cherry picking, trying to find a pass for a shot or something. He knows he has to score. All right, that's game 2. Honestly, game 1 looked a lot better, even though they had to come back from a 3-goal deficit. I feel like Arsenal and Daniel were on top of each other a lot more this game, and we saw our first sign of hesitation from Daniel in the challenge game. So hopefully he can fix those errors. Him and Arsenal can work out not being on top of each other constantly, and Daniel can, you know, feel the confidence to not hesitate on any challenges, hopefully. All right, game 3. See how this one goes. See if SSG can bounce back. Series is tied 1-1. Beats AJ to the mid boost. Has Arsenal challenging up for him. but isn't able to get that save afterwards. This was a sick outplay. I don't want to really pause and rewind these replays. We're just going to watch it through. I didn't really see how Arsenal got outplayed so badly there. But I don't want to make this video too long. We are watching an entire series here, so I don't want to pause and rewind. I think Arsenal's challenge probably could have been better because I don't think Daniel should have not been able to save that if Arsenal challenges well enough there. Wow, Faze is coming out swinging though in the first 30 seconds. That was a pretty sick kickoff. You could tell that was completely planned to kill the ball like that. Reynolds with a really close cheat, trying to get back on the board quickly. Wow. What does Daniel do with this? That's beautiful. That was awesome. That was awesome. Daniel completely trusts. He completely disregards the attacker there and just takes the ball up the wall. If that opponent hits the ball, he's actually just getting hard dunked. But Daniel, that's something that's super hard to do, is just keep the defender, keep the attacker, whatever you want to call him, keep the orange team out of your mind in that play and just commit to going for the ceiling shot. If you get dunked, you get dunked. If not, then you have a ceiling shot or you have a ceiling setup. Really easy to just assume you're going to get dunked there and give up on it and then not have a play that you could have possibly had. But Daniel just hard commits to the ceiling shot and then gets a beautiful pass to Reynolds. Just barely doesn't score off of it. I feel like the spacing for SSG has been a lot better this game so far. Arsenal and Daniel have been on top of each other a lot less, and I feel like Daniel's been rotating a lot wider so far. I think it's helped as well. That's beautiful as well. Another pass into an air dribble bump. Daniel's starting to come alive a little bit more now. It's gonna be a tough stand though. That bounce is super awkward for Daniel. I like that Daniel's playing that position now pretty safely. I think that was the right move. Pinch. Trying to keep the defense guessing on who's going for that ball. That was another one of those instances where I think Daniel would have been better off not harassing First Killer there, because while he's harassing him, he's also not picking up boosts where he could be, and he's not rotating behind Riddles. If he actually just grabs pads and rotates behind Riddles there, I think that's a better play than harassing First Killer there. Because if anything, First Killer challenges Riddles and you're behind Riddles backing him up. Daniel's definitely doesn't have the most structured, most standard 3v3 rotations. Cuts rotations a lot. Rotates near post instead of far post a lot. And I don't know if that's something that SSG is okay with, if that's something they're trying to do. Really keep Daniel on the offense by cutting rotations a lot, by positioning near post more so than rotating around as third man into back post. But like I said earlier, I think it would actually benefit. You know, they might have the idea that if he cuts rotations a lot and he grabs or he rotates near post a lot, then you can keep him in the offense and he's more effective as an offensive player. But I think Daniel, actually, you know, any mechanically nuts player, you know, if you take a look at somebody like Justin from NRG, he rotates back. The whole NRG squad has very classic 3v3 rotations, very deep rotations as well. And because of that, you're able to just be in a better position when you get the ball, where you have more space to go for an air dribble or a flip reset or a pass or something, because you're further back and you're receiving the ball further back in your half, which sounds bad because you're further back on your half, but it's actually just giving you more space to make a play. I think Daniel would actually thrive in that sort of situation, being able to sit on full boost and just wait for the ball to come to him to make a air dribble into a flip reset, or just an air dribble off the backboard, or a double tap opportunity, something like we used to see Justin do a lot when he first entered the scene as a rookie. Just constantly, every single time he got the ball, air dribbling over the entire team, and his team would just score the open net. I think that's something that really Daniel could do as well. But maybe that's not the role that they're looking for from Daniel. Maybe they're not looking for... Oh, wow, is that AJ? Oh no. That's heartbreaking if you're Faze. Wow. It's a scary pass. Daniel goes backward here. Lack of communication we saw though on that backward clear. Arsenal and Daniel again double committing, being right on top of each other. Here, this is a great example of Daniel with open space. Those are the kinds of positions that I think Daniel needs to be in more often. Waiting for a free ball to come his way, and he had all that space. He had a good amount of boost, and he created a pretty threatening play. Getting the ball right in front of the opponent's box, air dribbling it. I think that's what we need to see more out of all of these mechanical players that are in the RLCS. I think that's kind of the best way to play your role. But man, AJ, solo playing the team there, showing Daniel how it's done. He says, hey, you're good at ones, but I'm better. All right, let's get into the next game. All right, game 4. Faze is up now 2-1. SSG took game 1. Faze took the next 2. Daniel getting harassed from behind. Still able to get this though. Goes for a flip reset. I don't know if that's what you wanted to see from Daniel there. Goes for the double tap. If he finishes this, it's big. Good try. I think those are going for that flip reset earlier, and then also not fully committing to going for that double tap. You kind of saw him go for a weak shot just to make sure he places it on target. I think those are something that with time Daniel would not have made those same decisions if you gave him another month or two. I think Daniel 1 fully commits to just banging that shot on net there, because it's just the start of the game. You don't need that goal yet, and there's no way it's going in the net there with a lack of power. So you got to have the confidence to bang that one hard as you can. Even if you miss, it's better than taking a weak shot. You got to either full commit to the power there and actually scoring, or you're not going to get a goal anyways. And same thing with that flip reset. Just not the best decision there in the moment. And again, I think another month of playing at this level in RLCS, you know, caliber level, he wouldn't have made those same decisions. Oh, baby. Trying to set himself up with a soft touch off the wall. Hit it a little too hard though. Couldn't get back to it before he got challenged. Arsenal over 2. Reynolds couldn't finish it. Uh-oh. AJ slots the open net. I don't know if that was a risky dive by Daniel, or if that was Arsenal taking too long to rotate out there. Not sure which one is to blame there. Could be a little bit of both. Maybe Arsenal got bumped and Daniel didn't know and just dove, and not much you can do at that point. It's such a quick thing that happens after you already start challenging that as Daniel. There's really no time to pull off, you know? That's a really good hit from that position. Really hard to get power on that touch, but he manages to do so really well. Game slowing down at the moment. Daniel, though, doing, again, really good at just challenging. As soon as he sees somebody up in the air with possession of the ball, he's just throwing himself at the play to force him to play it around him, give his teammates behind him a free ball to work with afterwards. Great pass. Good finish by Daniel. Those 1v1 kickoffs. Arsenal in the perfect spot for Daniel just to feed him the ball behind him. That was pretty beautiful. That looked like good communication from Daniel as well. Calling Reynolds off that challenge. Tell him to just rotate him behind him. So good to see signs that Daniel is most likely communicating while playing. Something a lot of people have problems with, myself included. Trying to communicate, trying to call out while playing is very difficult to do. It's very distracting from what you need to do. Nice, really good shot placement from Daniel there to take the extra second to try to shoot behind the defender instead of straight in front of them where they have momentum going. Daniel tries to place it behind him, and because of that, it's really hard for, I think that was AJ, to get a good save there. Up 2-1. Uh-oh. First killer trying to tie it back up. That was close. They could have got scored on there for sure. Daniel had to, or he didn't have to, but he pre-jumped somebody who could have possibly been shooting, and he had 12 boosts and didn't realize that, it looked like. And not the strongest position to be in on defense there at the end. All right, that was game 4. Tied 2-2 now, right? Yeah, it was game 4, tied 2-2. Let's get into the final game, game 5. See how this goes. Who wins it? All right, game number 5. Tied 2 apiece. Daniel really using that kickoff where he comes really side on to the ball to neutralize it in the middle. Try to get some free kickoff goals. 1v1 ball control on kickoff coming in clutch. Again, highlight of Daniel's gameplay so far has been just being able to get up and challenge instantly when somebody has a play in the air, especially a team like Faze, who if you give them any space in the air, they're going to make something crazy happen. And Daniel knows that. SSG knows that. And they've had somebody shutting down every aerial play Faze tries to make. Arsenal and Daniel again are kind of tripping up each other, not on the same page there. That should have been Arsenal's challenge, and then after Arsenal didn't challenge in that corner, it should have been Arsenal should have let Daniel interfere with the attacker before he dove back in. So I say that's kind of a little bit on Arsenal. Faze makes him pay within about 15 seconds on the other end. Uh-oh. Really good from Daniel there on defense. Go up for that ball slowly so he doesn't get bumped by Sypical there. If he goes at that ball full speed, he's going to get demoed by Sip off the ball. Man, AJ is so scary when he has the possession of the ball in the air. You do not want to be the guy who has to go up and challenge him. Oh my. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Poor challenge as first man there for Arsenal. Doesn't help out Daniel at all behind him, and Daniel's just in a terrible spot. Not only is he on a 1v1 straight in front of his net, but he's in a 1v1 straight in front of his net against first killer. Not the guy you want to be in a 1v1 against, whether you're in a good position or not. Nice. Daniel actually gets rewarded for hunting the demos there. First time we've seen that demo hunting playstyle pay off for Daniel so far this series. Uh-oh. Wow. Daniel's got some great reads on defense in really, really awkward situations, and you think that's probably from playing a lot of ones as well, because in 1v1s, you're the only one who can defend. You can't leave the ball for somebody who has an easier angle, so Daniel's probably got a lot of experience reading really awkward angles. And it's paying off for him on defense. Uh-oh. That was not a good 5 seconds for Daniel. Misses the pass and then gets stuck on the opponent's post. Could have been bad for SSG. Minute left, down 1. Should be a pass. Good try. Pass could have been a little bit closer to Reddles, more away from the net so that the opponents couldn't get there first. Especially since you couldn't even see Reddles on your screen, that indicates that he's pretty far back on that pass, so pass just not executed that well for Daniel. But playing at this level, especially as a rookie, gonna cause some mechanical misplays. The nerves. I can't imagine. Probably be shaken. Dangerous play there, obviously, by Daniel, but he's the only one on the ball. He's the only one in a position to get the ball moving, and he has to because they're almost out of time. So really, he had no time to really do anything else. So as risky as that was of a play, he had to make that play, and they managed to not get scored on, but it didn't pay off for him. They weren't able to get a goal. So Faze takes this series 3-2 in a best of 5. Close series, and really what we saw from Daniel,
And this is to go even further beyond!
was a lot of great ability to shut down plays in the air early for SSG, shutting down Faze's crazy aerial plays that they like to pull off. Daniel is really good at getting up early and challenging those. Only had one time the entire series where he hesitated to go up and challenge, and yeah, it was working really well. Like, we didn't see Faze score any crazy highlight goals like they usually do, and that's, I think, a huge part because Daniel was so good at getting up and challenging. Even if he wasn't in a great position to challenge, he knows, hey, I don't need to win this challenge. I literally just need to force him to play the ball past me so my teammate behind me has a free touch. And I think In the first half of the series, we really saw Daniel doing a lot of cutting and rotation, rotating to near post instead of far post, constantly rotating in front of his teammates instead of behind his teammates, which again, that could have been something planned by SSG. They might, it might be okay with Arsenal and Rebels if Daniel's doing that because they know he's such a mechanical player that it's good to have him in the front in offense as much as possible. But honestly, what I think would benefit Daniel the most, and where I think we saw SSG actually playing their best, was when Daniel was rotating behind his teammates, sticking with a more classic 3v3 rotation, rotating around in a circular motion behind his teammates, playing third man when he has to. And it just frees up a lot of space for Daniel to be in the backfield, have full boost because he rotated back around his teammates, and then have an opportunity to get a free ball, free possession, and go for some, aerial play or solo play with more space because you're not cutting rotation in the midfield with a half a tank of boost. So I think if Daniel, at least in my opinion, I think SSG should actually look to have Daniel as second or third man more so than first man. I think Arsenal's really that really good first man, really good at just causing chaos in the front line, getting the ball in dangerous spots. And then Reddles, he's Reddles. He could play really any position really well. And Daniel, he's probably the most mechanical player on the team. And I really want to see him play sort of like Justin, when Justin first came into the RLCS, or his first season or two in the RLCS, when every single time he would get the ball, it would just be an air dribble over the entire other team, giving his teammates behind him a free play. If Daniel can do that same sort of thing, I think he'll have a lot of success with that because Daniel has the mechanics to do that. Same with First Killer. He's a guy who, anytime he gets the ball, he's making a solo play to put on a lot of pressure on the other team. Same with AJ. Anytime he gets possession of the ball, he's creating some sort of crazy aerial solo play. I think that's the same sort of play style Daniel can really incorporate and have a lot of success with. Now, I'm not the SSG coach. I'm not a SSG player. I don't know what their strategy is and what they really want out of Daniel as a player. But I think it'd be a darn shame to not have Daniel, to not give Daniel the opportunity to use his mechanics to the fullest. All right, guys, that's going to be it for the video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.